on the air, you also help the host because they get half of the net on every order. Also, we have Revolution Radio's all-time favorite shows all on one disc. The details are really broad, so you'll have to visit the website and go look at the details yourself. It's, again, www.freedomslips.com/season2013.htm. And get your favorites. First come, first served, 7 to 21 days delivery. Thank you. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, where information never sleeps, including me. Later.
We gotta stop them! They're gonna kill us all!
Tune in Tuesdays at 12 noon Eastern on Studio A to hear Tammy Adams share her knowledge of an unknown realm on Talking with Your Angels. Join Tammy as she uncovers hidden secrets about the spiritual world of angels, ghosts, and other entities that have been with us longer than we know. Tammy is a psychic, a teacher, spiritual coach, a leader in her field, and will be sharing her information and stories with you. So join us on Tuesdays at noon on Studio A. With Tammy's guidance, you'll find out who has been watching over you from the other side, and soon you will be talking with your angels.
Join Revolution Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Studio B for Momentary Zen with host Zen Garcia at freedomslips.com, the People Station.
Revolution Radio. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sacred Matrix on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. I'm your host, Janet Kara Lesson, with my co-host, Dr. Sasha Lesson. Revolution Radio is listener-supported, so please do take a few minutes now and go over to that donation button on the website and donate what you can. $1, $5, $10, $15, $20, $100, whatever you can donate is greatly appreciated, and thank you very much for your donation. Our guest this second hour is Craig Campobasso, and I'm going to read you a little bit from his bio. From the day that he was born and swaddled in a rocket ship-adorned blanket in the fall of 1959, the stars were aligned in Hollywood and in the heavens for Emmy-nominated casting director Craig Campobasso to lead a remarkable life here on Earth. As a teenager, he began work as a commercial actor, which spilled over into television and film work for this bright, hazel-eyed South California native. The silver screen has remained his home ever since. He worked with the father and daughter team, Dino and Rafaela de Laurentiis, and director David Lynch, and they were his first ventures into the business of filmmaking. Rafaela later hired him as a casting director on the popular Christmas movie Prancer, starring Sam Elliott, after he apprenticed as a casting associate on Steven Spielberg's television show Amazing Stories for NBC. But it was then at the age of 26 that Craig had a spiritual awakening with master teachers, including Melchizedek, the University of 490 planets in an outer space city, and he began receiving communications from other dimensions. His universally awake training is still active now, 27 years after initial contact. His profound experiences over the past 3 decades can be gleaned in his book, The Autobiography of an Extraterrestrial Saga, I Am Thyron, which was published on a magical date of 11/11/11, and is the first in a trilogy about the second coming of consciousness. And Campobasso has just completed a feature-length screenplay called Stranger at the Pentagon, based on the book by Dr. Frank E. Stranges, that was first released in 1967, and the book remains a classic, USO classic to date. And the short version of the film tells the story of a created being, an angel in human form, named Valiant Thor, who was a documented guest of the Eisenhower administration from 1957 to 1960. And this short film is now done and is the launching pad for the feature-length film, which is coming by the same title. And so Craig's Campobasso's directorial debut, Stranger in the Pentagon, won Best Sci-Fi Short Film at the Burbank Film Festival in September of 2014. And Dr. Lesson, do you have anything you want to say before we bring Craig on?
Just having reviewed a lot of evidence and stuff, I'm really convinced that Valiant Thor is for real, and the story that is fictionalized is a true story, and that we have friends in high places that are here to help us.
So, Craig, are you there? Welcome to our show.
I am. Thank you so much. And,
Thank you. Yeah. We had you on, I think it was in February, but and you were talking about the movie, and now tell us, it's over. Tell us about the movie and your premiere.
Well, it took us 2 years to make the short film, because we have it's somewhere between 80 and 90 visual effects shots, and for a short film that is huge, as you know. So. And the whole road, of making the film, when I started out to make it, we didn't really have any money and raise little bits of money to do it, and and we were going to just shoot it on a little Canon camera and shoot it very, cheaply and all of that. But like Dr. Lesson just said, the universe had other plans, as I think so did Valiant Thor and the rest of them, because everything just opened up, and all of a sudden we had a DP with a red camera, and then we were shooting on a giant sound stage, and then we were, everything just started falling in line perfectly all the way through. So, but we finished and debuted it actually last weekend. Saturday night at the Burbank Film Festival in the Burbank AMC Theater, in their largest theater that had 275 seats. It was sold out many weeks in advance, and so they actually had to add another screening on that night just for all the overflow of people who wanted to see it. So, so it was really quite spectacular. We had a ton of press there. It was like, I have to tell you again, it was, it was like magic happened. It was like this was the opening of a giant Hollywood movie. There was so much press there. There were all the sci-fi people. Paola Harris was there on our red carpet with a camera. Tom Danziger from Coast to Coast was on the carpet with a camera. And on top of all of that, Eileen Davidson, who plays Dina Thor, Val Thor's wife, is now a housewife of Beverly Hills, so she brought the housewife and the Bravo camera. So we'll be on an episode in season 5 when that starts airing. There's no date. So, once again, the exposure for a short film is going to be gigantic. And then last Sunday night was the big awards gala at the Castaway restaurant, which, as you know, is breathtaking, has a view of the whole city. And we won Best Sci-Fi Short. So it was the perfect cap to an incredible weekend, and we had over 100 people come from out of town, even from 4 people from Australia, several from Europe, people from all over the back east, everything, and I said to everybody, it really is just a little short film. We can send it to you on Vimeo, and they were like, no, we want to be there for, this occasion and the whole thing. So it was a love fest of all these incredible people who came in. We all got together the Friday night before, and in a restaurant, and packed their banquet room, and then I had a bunch of them over on Saturday at my house, as many as I could fit. And then we had the premiere, all the press that went on, and the premiere, and then the big after party, and then the awards gala was on Sunday. So I wasn't looking forward to Monday, because I was like, what am I going to do?
That was your climax, so it would be an anticlimax, yeah.
So what was
exactly?
What is depicted on this film?
Right, I think it's the message is really important. You want to tell our listeners what's
well, sure. The short film follows the storyline of Valiant Thor leaving his home world, coming here. What happens. Getting him to the Pentagon, to Eisenhower, to the Joint Chiefs, and then we go back up when, there is some other workings of the universe that's going on, and we go up onto the motherships, and we go into this colossal landing bay. It's like, when every movie has money shots, these are our giant money shots. They're like breathtaking. When you have an overview of this colossal landing bay from a bridge where we have some people standing, and we see it over their shoulder, and there's saucer craft just flying all over the place and landing, and people walking about and all of that. So. It's the first movie to depict Merkaba vehicles, talk about Melchizedek, and actually show the language of the gods.
So,
wow.
So who is this Melchizedek in your story?
Well, Melchizedek is the spiritual university of this giant universe. So. When beings leave Earth, for instance, they will go through Melchizedek to figure out what their next learning is throughout the universe. It's a colossal outer space city, as you said before, of 490 planets. So there are a lot of created beings that are there who are teachers, and one of those teachers' name is Yanaya. And Yanaya currently is a permanent fixture on Valiant Thor's craft, Victor 1. Valiant Thor is also a created being. The only difference is Yanaya is actually from Melchizedek. So he comes with his associate when there seems to be some interference from outside Universal, a race, and on top of all the conflict that's going on, with Valiant Thor and the government as well. And so he comes with a message from the Universal Sovereign, and that's when we get to see the language of the gods, and we get to see all of those cool things. So, but we'll see. And I leave the short film with a cliffhanger where you're not really quite sure what happens to Valiant Thor, as and which everybody loved, and and in the big movie, everything will, of course, be answered, and all of that, but it just gives everybody a little flavor. But all the things that I got this whole week from a lot of people who were in the theater, who either emailed me that I knew or didn't know, or they were talking to other people, is that,